All right, so here we go. Yes, the big update is now live for the First Descendant. Here's your first look at Ultimate Valby in action. We're also going to be taking a look at the new Descendant Luna in just a moment, but the dev team did post an extremely important blog post about the future of the First Descendant. They talked about things like drop rate improvement plans, which is huge. Also disposing of leftover items. We're talking about supporting build diversity, a highly requested feature there, balancing, and much more. So we're going to dive into everything happening around this first update, this blog post. Yes, all the patch notes. They did also release a bunch of brand new swimsuits as well and other skins in the shop that we're going to dive into. But you know what? I say first and foremost, we talk about this blog post because it's so very important. So let's dive into this right now. Check it out. It says this: drop rate improvement plans. While all of our other drop rate systems are operating fairly in the First Descendant, we do understand that some players are struggling with the vagaries of drop rate. To address this, we're planning to introduce a new system where you can more easily get the item you want after repeating the activity a certain number of times. The First Descendant has various missions and amorphous materials with chance-dependent rewards. We're considering how we can effectively take care for drop rate issue in such diverse reward systems, and we're working to create a farming structure that players will be happy with. We hope to make improvements before long to provide a more rational and satisfying farming experience. And this translation right here is saying that it's going to be a guaranteed drop system as well, which is a highly requested feature. Let's see if they go that route. It seems like that's the path they will be taking. Now also, disposing of leftover items says, next, an update on items that are piling up in your consumables. There is currently no way to dispose blueprints for Descendants and weapons that you've already completed, so there are cases where players are getting multiple copies of blueprints they already own during the farming process. We've been listening to the community who have been telling us that there needs to be a way to dispose of these unwanted items. While we could consider simply converting them into some gold or Kuiper, we want to reward you with more value for the time you have put in the game. To resolve this, the dev team is planning a system to dismantle leftover items to get byproducts and a rotating shop system where you can exchange the byproducts for something of value. This will allow the items you obtained to have a greater value in the game. So interesting. Sounds like there's potentially going to be some new things happening around a shop here as well. Now, supporting build diversity. One of the biggest complaints is in-game build diversity right now. So it's a lot of fun for us to see the variety of builds being posted in the community lately. We love seeing you try so many different builds and are amazed by the unexpected ways you've evolved in. We hope for more builds to exist in the First Descendant, and we want an environment where players are free to experiment with different builds. However, we found that it is difficult to take advantage of loadouts after assigning socket types, which goes against our goal of experimenting with different builds freely. As a result, the dev team is planning to provide an environment where completely different builds can be created by assigning each loadout with different socket types. We hope this will help you experiment with different builds without feeling overwhelmed. Do you guys think that is a good way to solve this problem? Let me know. Sound off in the comments down below. But balancing is another thing they touched base on. It says, finally, some news about balancing. We are seeing a dominance of skill damage focused builds of some Descendants. Descendants and weapons that are well suited for these builds, are quite popular now. We want the meta builds to change from season to season. We want the Descendants and weapons that are effective in new content to be different from those in previous seasons. Also, we're looking to increase the proportion of firearm-based combat in the in-game. We can't promise that all Descendants and weapons will be equally balanced at all times, but our goal is to keep changing the effective builds. To that end, we promise to make constant adjustments and offer different ways to play with new content. We aim to implement the improvements I talked about today during Season 1 and Season 2. And then, they say keep that feedback rolling in. It seems like it's really, really helping them out. But yeah, balancing, they never mentioned anything about nerfs. It just sounds like they want to have some adjustments to fit the new seasons, the new content, whatever they're doing there. So, hey, that sounds like good news to me. But yeah, I also wanted to talk about Luna, but showcase some of the brand new content that was released today, including those brand new outfits. Take a look. Here she is, the long-awaited Ultimate Valby. Not looking too bad at all, let me tell you what. And then, of course, we have the helmet. Don't forget the crimson red version of her. Wow. But we also got to talk about Luna, because she has two versions here. The normal Descendant build, as you could see. And I'm assuming that there will be eventually an ultimate version of her. But check it out. Here is Luna. Wow, okay. They know how to design some characters, don't they? And then, of course, she has her hairstyle here. And yes, the pool party Luna edition. Here we go. Valby summer theme bundle. So check this out. This is for Valby. You can see her haircut. And of course her swimsuit. Let me tell you what, Nexon knows how to bake some cake. And Viessa also gets her own swimsuit as well. Check that out right there. You know what? We need a second look at that. Nice. This also comes with a brand new hairstyle and some earrings. I can see why everyone is wanting a no helmet option for sure. And then summer theme set here. 10 versus 1 per account. So yes, this is going to be for several different characters. The male characters, as you can see right there. Okay. So the male characters do get some cool stuff as well. And then for Luna, she has the Albion Academy Cadet outfit with a brand new hairstyle. A bun right there. And yes, gotta love the Academy Cadet outfits for sure. And they did add a new weapon known as the Peacemaker. Here it is right here. It goes on to describe it as this. Using a dimension skill grants the single reload for peace effect. At maximum stacks, the single reload for peace effect enables you to fire the loaded ammo in a single quick burst when taking an aim shot. Looks pretty cool. And yeah, they did add a new module called Arch Concretion, which does this. Decreases movement speed, firearm attack, and all attribute attack, except non-attribute attack every time a skill is used, but each stack of Arch Concretion increases defense and MP. This right here is pretty important. They increased the amount of void shards that can be acquired from special operations by about 7 times. They gave some comments. It said hotfix 104 added void shards as reward for special operations, but unfortunately there was just too few. The original intent was to keep void fragments as the primary farming source for void shards and get additional void shards from special operations. But the community has told us that many of you don't like this loop. So we've increased the amount of void shards that can be earned in special operations. We're also working on some steps for future improvements. Many players are currently farming materials without spending the fragments at the fusion reactor. So we're considering removing the fragments from the fusion reactor startup altogether. This would make the fragments necessary only when the reconstructing device is used at the fusion reactor. We're taking a closer look at how the reward loop we planned works in practice. We'll try to finalize a reward loop that players will be satisfied within the near future. How do you guys like the sound of that one? Sound off in the comments down below, but it sounds like they're going in the right direction. And this is pretty big right here. They reduce the distance you're knocked down when hit by a trap, lowered the ratio at which the named monster's immunity sphere HP scales with the number of players in infiltration operations, and reduce the duration of immunity. Thank God. Still, I think players want those balls removed altogether. The Agna Desert, Vespers, Echo Swamp, White Knight Gulch, Hagios, and Fortress Fields now have a 100% chance to spawn encrypted vaults at spawn. They increase the hitbox size in data collection missions to make it easier to collect data. Outside environmental sounds are now less audible in the indoor areas in Kingston. Adjust the distance that monsters spawn in the laboratory to be closer as 15 meters. We also talked about content improvements to prevent module swapping from becoming a strategy in intercept battles and infiltration operations. Equipping and removing modules, changing presets, and changing loadouts is now prohibited. Add a feature to collect all lost and found items at once in the mailbox. Nice. After checking the map with acquired information in the library, closing the map now leaves the library open. Adding camera shake on-off feature in-game options. Then for the PC and PlayStation, and Xbox, added the ability to select preset search keywords to make it easier to search modules and research. Yeah, there's a lot of changes here. You can pause the screen. I'll throw the patch notes in the description as well. But for Descendants and modules, it says increase the poison contagion range of Frena's room zero trauma from a 4-meter radius to a 7-meter radius. So a buff there. Increase the maximum scaling range of Valby's skills from 200% to 250%. Increase the maximum scaling of range of Blair's skills from 200% to 250%. Change the blizzard generated by Viessa glacial cloud module to be triggered instantly without delay. Nice. I love it. Change Valby's Albion Academy Cadet head skin to be dyeable. Change incoming final damage to incoming damage modifier in the description of the safe recovery module. And then equipment, it says add a feature in game option that enables some single shot and burst weapons to fire automatically when the fire button is pressed and held down. Increase Enduring Legacy's critical hit damage from 1.7 times to 2.3 times. Increase Secret Garden's critical hit rate from 35 to 50%. And critical damage from 1.85 times to 2.25 times. And then they increase the Natsutra's Devotion critical hit rate from 36% to 45%. And critical hit rate damage from 2 times to 2.25 times. So a buff there. Decrease the trigger rate of bombardment of Greg's Reverse Fate. But now also triggers when the weapon is fired at unshielded enemies. Equipment can now be dismantled at once with no quantity limit. So yeah, some nice changes there. Overall, I would say that those are mostly buffs. And then they did mention, yes, there was some more optimization improvements as well for consoles and PC. Some bug fixes in here, well, more than just some. And then some adjustments to the Descendants as well. It says fix an issue where Leppy could trigger the overkill skill at 0 MP. So yeah, you can see these are some issues that they did adjust as well. Then also same thing for equipment. And then they did mention this, that they fixed an issue where the ultimate weapon Thunder Cage's unique effect would deal more than 1.33 times damage when monsters were clustered. Instead, Electric Shockwave now deals 2 times damage regardless of the number of enemies. Nice. Another reason to try the ultimate weapon Thunder Cage right there. And some changes to Amphoris material patterns and shape stabilizers acquired from hard infiltration operations in the White Knight Gulch and Hagios areas. So check it out right here. You can pause the screen so if you do want to see those changes, because I know that's going to affect your farming as well. So yeah, some really cool changes going on here. Overall, a fantastic update. And I also do love the fact that they do continue to tease us on what they are going to be doing in the future for the game, especially for those drop rates. I think once we get, some sort of guaranteed drop rate mechanic in the game, that will be a massive change and, will be a sigh of relief, I guess you would say, for a lot of us for sure. Because, yeah, there's a lot of complaints about how the drop rates are working currently. Some people are saying, hey, that's how it works. Remember the saying. 20% drop rate means that 80% of the time you're not going to be getting what you want. But anyway, let me know how you guys are feeling about the drop rates right now. But yeah, there it is. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know how you guys are enjoying the brand new update. Thank you again, and I will see you all next time. Take care.